Do you remember a long time ago, right when we were getting this podcast on its legs, we did a few rehearsals and I had mentioned an experimental short film called Sunspring. It starred that guy from Silicon Valley.
Right.
Thomas Middleditch, I think is his name. Remember it?
Yeah, wasn't that the one that you were talking about that robots wrote the screenplay?
Exactly. Yeah, written by an AI.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever see that film?
No.
Actually,
Don't have
yeah,
enough
and it
time
was
to see it.
completely incoherent and oddly entertaining. Really
Yeah.
strange.
Totally. Darren, did you ever end up watching it?
I did watch that. I watched that after you told me about it. And
It's so bizarre, right?
it's, I mean, it's kind of awful, but it's...
The basic premise being that these guys fed this computer algorithm, kind of like that predictive text your phone uses.
Right.
Fed this program hundreds of science fiction scripts and asked it to spit out what it thought would be a science fiction script. And it came out with this. It was like an 11-page script that was pretty nonsensical.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch knowing how the script originated, but it's kind of a terrible... If a human wrote that, you'd think this is the worst science fiction short film I've ever seen.
For sure. Right. Well, they've done the same thing with Seinfeld. Some guys have taken episodes from season 3 and thrown it into the same system, and it's printed out a 3-page script.
Are you and I going to do this?
I thought you might want to be Jerry.
Okay.
And I'll handle the other characters, and I'll handle the scene descriptions. And I thought Paul and Ivan could be the studio audience.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. For everyone listening, if it seems like we're not making sense, or we're
a computer wrote
mispronouncing or
this.
reading it wrong, right,
Yeah,
we are not.
Larry David did not write this.
You got it. You ready to go?
Let's do it.
Okay. Interior Comedy Club.
What's the problem with the minimalism? You know, if you enjoy being around alcoholics, I'm going to go ahead and never return that dog.
Cut 2. Interior Jerry's apartment day. Jerry and Elaine are carrying leaves in their hands. He tries to grab a door, and Elaine imitates the door.
Well, the elevator opens in wrong side of the door. I thought maybe the door's not waiting, but it said going down, and Kramer couldn't help me move it. I just wanted to get out of it. Just get out.
He slams his hand on the door. Kramer enters, dancing with garbage. Hey, hey, hey. Great idea for a big sponge. Make it so large, you think it's got a fat clock in the middle.
It's so nonsensical.
Jerry takes off his bones.
Kramer, do you have a fun flashback to do?
Cut 2. Interior Monk's Cafe. This might be my favorite line. George is wearing a $20 hat that says, "Hello to horse."
Just the idea of George wearing that hat.
Hello to horse.
Hello to horse.
George speaking. I'm kind of like the captain of hygiene.
Mind the fish, George. Elaine, say something to George. Look for anything wrong with him.
Yeah, like his hat.
Right now, I want to find someone who doesn't believe George is back from the bathroom.
Well, at least you got the George and bathroom part, right?
Yeah, but is he wearing a shirt?
George takes the garbage and moves back. Elaine isn't exhausting, but I'll bet 3 days of straight fear I'm not bitter.
That's a fantastic line. I'll bet 3 days of straight fear.
That is pretty good. First dog to get George will be my friend. George walks at her seriously. I'll pay attention to George when he talks louder. He never says anything wrong, but his intellect is dying with him. George walks back to George's parents. Interior, Jerry's apartment. Kramer enters quickly, sliding around the floor on his knees. Jerry is watching TV. Jerry notices something in the refrigerator. Elaine smoking at the crowd. Hey, I'm thinking, Jerry. I'm really sweating, Jerry. Jerry, I have a woman coming, and she doesn't mean, you know?
She gets her shoulders in it. She doesn't mean.
Jerry, relaxesly. Is relaxesly a word?
Relaxesly is not a word.
Relaxesly, handily talking.
Well, the couch is not going to be washed by me, you know. I've got Nick tickets on Wednesday, and George gets soup on the road.
Snacks are piled high in the guest room. Jerry spots them and takes a photograph. Kramer in a cynical voice. Jerry, can you be a big salad and give me a meal?
Can you be a big salad?
George enters, acting very strange. He picks up the remote control and tries to run with it.
Hey, George, what's wrong with you?
Oh, Jerry, just sit there and try to hear my machine. Jerry, I really have a hot dog in there, and I'm not going to lie to it.
Suddenly it turns dirty.
What's the difference? You became a legend. I got a big picnic.
And this last paragraph is so bizarre. George, Elaine, and Jerry lean back and forth, laughing hypocritically. Sports a couple of muscle relaxers. Jerry looks at the psychic's apartment, the phone, and George. Helen, where did she come from? Helen walks toward Elaine, and George has a double look at the bathroom. George is touching the cow banes. Kramer is barely laughing. Elaine making the newspaper. Jerry looks at Jerry. That's great.
That's great.
Jerry unlocks the hot end. He like it. Jerry is not heard with his fingers. Jerry walks out of the blade with the music pause. Cut to. Back to the comedy club.
No. God, no. You should get out of here right now. You're a real turkey club without any crackers, aren't you?
Okay, that line is worth the read right there. You're a real turkey club without the crackers.
What's the deal with this ping pong guy? He mumbles something like, yeah, ha, oh, no, go. I've never been called an egg, but you could do it. Roll credits.
Well,
what's a cow bane?
I don't know.
This is great.
What's the deal with these robots writing my script?
Well, thank you for sharing that with me, Ron. I was very happy to be Jerry to your George, Elaine, and Kramer.
Totally bizarre, right?
That's wonderful.
Mm-hmm. So I don't think we're in serious danger of AIs taking over jobs from writers in the near future.
No.
Anytime soon.
Anytime soon.
No, not anytime soon. Do you think the Seinfeld cast would reunite to produce this script?
That'd be great.
That would be amazing.
I don't know. They might be able to pull it off.
I would like to see them do it just like they did with Sunspring, because those people had no idea what they were saying, but they committed to it.
Yeah, absolutely, right? And it still has a flavor of Seinfeld. It's weird, but it's got the characters right, even though it's nonsensical.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bizarre. I mean, it uses, nouns in the right place and verbs in the right place and so on, but it doesn't use the right nouns and verbs and adjectives to make sense.
Right.
I mean, there's enough sense in there, though. That's, I think, what makes it compelling. If it was just pure gibberish, you would trash it.
There's shades of the show in there.
Exactly. Yeah, that's kind of amazing, actually.
Right. Like you said about George in the bathroom, right?
Yeah.
All of these things, right?
And Elaine calling out his intelligence and Kramer always being weird.
Right. Elaine, make fun of George.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Exactly.
I don't know how many shows you could do this with and get that kind of results, because Seinfeld is so particular. Such a different type of show. I would love to see it done with a few other shows, though. Could be really interesting, like The Simpsons or something.
The Simpsons, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny.
But pure nonsense, and I had fun reading it.
Cool. Thank you for indulging me.
For sure.